Okay, we start this week's class by developing the Kotamanga a little further. Once we trap the opponent, we now implement the Pensa Kodo and drive the opponent to the ground. This is a simple development, but very effective. In this example, Husto is showing the elbow attacking the face. Obviously we can attack any part of the body, but as you all know by now, we need to develop each progression step by step. The concept of trapping has many variables. It just depends on what our past condition perceives as trapping. Remember, we need to decide what we class as street trapping, as it's our journey and not that of somebody else's. Other arts use and make reference to trapping, but KFM is not concerned with what other people perceive as trapping. It's what we perceive as trapping. In this class we are only showing a couple of variables with the Kotamanga and the Pensa Kodo. In this shot, Husto is shadowing the technical application of the Kotamanga to the legs. It feels a bit strange at first. With a little bit of practice, we will soon find the application with it. All of the basic traps at the moment use the Garamono as the hook, after which we just decide what weapon we wish to develop. In this case the Kotamanga plus the elbow. These classes have been designed to provoke our way of thinking, because this is the only way we can really expand our abilities. If we just do what we've always done and never venture into new territory, we will never discover new things. In this first shot, Ruben has stepped in so we can actually see what Husto is shadowing. The elbow is direct, but the element of the timing is the key. We are using the timing beat of during, basically meaning that Husto counters whilst Ruben is in mid-flow. As with all developments in the KFM, once we have learned how to apply something, we then learn how to destroy it. Fighting is never a one-way conversation unless we are very, very lucky. Therefore we need to understand both sides of the fence. Moving swiftly on, we now crash and enter and attack the face directly, then drive the opponent, smashing him into the ground. Watch carefully as Husto enters with a Pensa attack, then rips the lead barrier out of the way with the Garamono, whilst at the same time trapping the opponent's neck. He then follows with the Pensa Kodo and the takedown. I really like the subject of street trapping, as it really is an awesome area of study with unlimited potentials. You look how the things that we have learnt so far have the application possibilities in all areas. This is the real trick. It's having the ability to use the simple information but in a multi-dimensional way. Okay, now we drop the Kotamanga back down to the low line attack again. Husto enters with a simple punch and then attacks the leg with a Pensa attack and applying the Kotamanga. Notice how Husto can drive the leg either from the internal or external point of contact. This particular exercise is very raw, as in truth many mid-beat weapons are not in play yet. Like we said, if we are studying without the hindrance of preconceived answers, then this work will definitely provoke many interesting questions. Well, that's the whole point. Investigation is the only way we will ever find our own functional abilities. We now look at 3 quick shots of the counters involving the work covered so far. Ruben is attacking with the intention of trapping the head. Justo makes a basic pensacotto in attack. Again, the timing of the counter is during. Justo and Ruben are showing the next 4 shots very slowly, so that you can see exactly what's going on and that you can work out the timing beat. There is always an answer to most things. It just means we need to spend a little time investigating in order to find and exploit all possibilities. Again, you look how many simple movements are born out of the pensador. Simple yet radical at the same time. The counter is pretty easy to catch. Ruben attacks the low line and Justo uses the same counter each time. The objective with this is to develop the timing, because in reality the counter is pretty easy. It's just a simple elbow in attack, but the skill is in the development of our action-reaction abilities. Now we've got the technical part of the class down, it's time to move on to the development side of things again. Roland and Ruben put it all together and blast it out. And we've seen how simple the corta manga cara really is in the technical part of the class, but you look how it fits so well within the framework of all our major basics. Here's something to think about. If we learn just one simple thing in our training every day, that's 365 developments a year. That's way more than enough to be getting on with. In previous classes we have looked at and studied the Garamona. We'll now look at how it's starting to evolve. Here's a simple thing to think about. If you can grab hold of something, then there's absolutely no reason why we can't destroy it. And really, all we are doing here is combining a simple grab with a simple elbow. Obviously it's easier said than done, but in truth that's all we're doing. Corta manga can be developed in 1,000 different ways, as with most other things that we're all studying. But I like this area of study because it feeds off instinct again. Remember when we talked about the human under stress, and how one of the natural reactions is to grab? then clearly this is also classed as trapping. Grabbing is something that we all do naturally. And when I say all, I mean the entire human race. Not just a specific martial art that thinks it's invented trapping and nobody else knows what they're doing. Just watch a child if you want to see how the human is programmed for trapping. For me in Husto, the two-man predator is a place where we really find out how much we have absorbed. If we are still able to remain sharp and crisp, then it's possible we really are starting to develop our true potentials. But if it all starts falling to bits, then we need more time in there. Even if we're struggling in the two-man predator drill, excellent. It's not meant to be easy, and it never will be. Another reason why the two-man predator will never let us become lazy is even though we may be working with isolated or restricted information, the concept of the exercise is free play, meaning that our opponents are out to get us by constantly stressing us and pushing us to our mental limits. The more time we spend in the two-man predator, the more we develop and provoke our blood instincts. This is the true essence of developing true abilities for the urban streets. Learning to survive and live in this chaotic training environment means we will develop an incredible level of ability. If you just watch the boys, their movement and mechanics speak for themselves. Even when it's all going bonkers, they still hold it all together. This is a real sign of a fighter with a genuine ability. But we can all have this, we just need to be disciplined and make sure we don't let ourselves become lazy or comfortable. The moment you feel like you're coping really well means it's time to push a little harder again. If not, we stop growing. Until next week, see you later.